All right, we're recording. Be careful what you say.
How's the Cape, Mom and Dad?
Snowy yesterday, but very beautiful today.
Wow.
Yes, there was, yeah. How many, we had what, about an inch maybe of snow yesterday?
I
Yeah.
can't believe you guys have snow. So in Oregon right now, it's like 60s and 70s every day.
Well, that's what, what is it? It's according to
Right now.
side. All right. What's John doing? John's putting on his own cookie.
John's cleaning.
Interesting.
John wanted an aerial view too.
Yeah.
I love it. This is great.
What?
I see Anne is wearing an apron. That's good.
I wanted to dress the part. I never wear an apron when I cook, but
I rarely do too, but Juliet told me I should.
They're cute.
that's a really cute apron, Pook. Yeah, I love it.
Yes, it's
Oh,
my.
Josh, look at yours. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I see a cooking show.
Did I put that one for you?
Yes, you got it, Courtney Lomo.
I did? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Can't seem to get I got terrible service in my house. I'm trying to call Philip. Dad, maybe you can
I
call him.
texted him already, sweetie.
Yeah, well, yeah. We can wait a little.
Recorded.
But
Yeah, just go.
does everybody have, do you have a bowl? Do you have your potatoes? Do you have your tuna fish?
Do you put the tuna fish juice in with the potatoes?
No, drain, no. So we can all sit here and open, do your, drain your tuna. Open and drain.
How many? Can I ask about like proportions? How much? I have 2 cans.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the issues with these kind of recipes. It's sort of,
Eyeball.
yeah. Oh, wow.
Well, what do
But
you use?
you're the only one who's going to eat this, so I'm
Because I'm not making a huge one. I think this was like 5, medium-sized red potatoes, and that should make enough for the 3 of us for lunch for 2 days,
Probably like 2.5 pounds or so.
maybe, yeah, something like that. So, that's it. Hold on, I'm gonna go and drain my tuna.
And how much tuna are you doing, Pook?
I'm using just a can.
This one. Okay.
Pookie, does it matter if you're using like the flaked tuna or the solid white?
No, it doesn't matter, but I always use the solid white just because it's a preference of mine. I don't buy anything else, and I always get it in water, not in oil,
Okay.
just because I think if you add more oil to this, it'll be a lot more greasy.
I see.
If you only have a can of tuna in oil, I would rinse it. Yeah. But that's it.
you would rinse it. You would not.
Yes, I would, because it would make really gross. It would make really gross pain poisson. So there he is,
Hey!
Philip. Are you cooking along with us, or are you just observing?
He doesn't know how to turn
Phil,
on
do
the
you have your audio on?
You need to put that mic on.
Want to unmute him?
You have to allow Zoom.
There we
You
go.
have to allow Zoom to record too, I found out, or Tom found out.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's better.
Oh, there we go.
Good.
Hey,
Are
Philip.
you
Hello.
observing,
Hi.
Philip?
What?
Are you just observing, or are you creating with us?
I'm just observing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
Sarah's cleaning the kitchen. Doing some cleaning, so.
Okay. Well, so you start off breaking up your tuna fish.
I'm a few steps ahead of you already.
Go into gallery, you'll see the close-up. You're doing a close-up of the tuna.
Get out of here.
Yeah. This, they jip you on this one.
Do you want me
There
to
was
grab
one-
another can?
Yes, please. Because that's, again, are going to be, you know, how much you are actually going to, how much you want. You know, if it's for a big family, if it's like a big family thing, I would probably use, you know, actually 5 pounds of potatoes. And then probably, well, I was a little disappointed with the amount of tuna in this can because it's Wegmans. I usually get the bumblebee tuna that's bigger at Costco, so there's more in it.
Well, is it 7 ounces?
Yeah,
That's how much the
these are 6 ounces, so I'm actually going to
Oh.
open another can and use another can.
Oh, wait a minute.
Ooh.
So you used a 6-ounce can?
Yep.
No, 7.
Well, yeah. It depends
So I have
what you have. What do you
I
have?
have about the same amount of potatoes as you, Pook. I had like 5 like medium-sized like yellow potatoes.
Yeah.
And I did like one of like the small, you know, this. Oh wait, this says 5-ounce.
Yeah.
Like one 5-ounce can.
Oh, you're gonna need 2.
You know, so again, all of this is going to be a matter of taste.
Yeah.
You know, so again, if you feel like you need more tuna, you add more tuna. If you don't, you know,
If you like it really fishy, you add more tuna.
there, you know, if you have, you know, so there you go.
Hey,
Isabel, I like your view. It's just
Your
your
ceiling.
ceiling.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry.
All right, so there you go. And now you just sort of like create tuna fish salad stuff. No, sorry. Again, you don't want it super, super wet. I use Hellmann's, big Hellmann's fan. Other people hate the stuff. I don't like the Kraft because it's salad dressing and it's too sweet. I really
Tom used to be Miracle Whip only. I have now changed him over.
okay.
Good.
Mom, can you see the hanging plant?
Yeah.
Off topic, but yes, I can.
Look, I think I might have already messed up.
What?
In a what?
What?
I put my fish into the potato already. Is that?
That's fine.
That's where we're at, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, I thought that you were mixing your fish, just your fish.
I was. It really doesn't matter. It's an assembly job. It doesn't matter.
I don't even know that Brad wants this. I told him no.
I'm gonna go tell Sophie to come say hello. Hold on.
Yay!
I happen to like putting Dijon mustard in, so you know. But again, it's all personal preference.
Isn't that product placement?
What?
Oh,
Oh, shut up, Christopher.
Dad.
Philip is eating his already.
It's taste. I don't know, a good tablespoon. Personally,
So the mixture at this point is pretty,
it's like tuna fish salad.
yeah, okay.
That's
It's not completely dry.
No, it's not completely dry. And the thing, the beauty of you sort of put everything together and you sort of, depending on how dry your potatoes are and all that. Yeah. So now I'm just going to add the potatoes.
Oh my God. What's Adam doing?
I need to go weed whack. I have really bad allergies.
He's afraid some of the tuna will splash in his face.
Hello. I'm
saying hi.
Okay, my potatoes are a bit long. What was that? Hello.
Okay, I'm going. Hi.
So, do you see what this looks like? It's just sort of,
Yeah, I think you can click on the close-up if you want, and
Organic enough when you put it into the.
You control
I'm
it.
actually going to add all of my potato. So do you see that, Anna? Because this is for you. Because you're really the one who wanted to know how to make this.
That's true. Yeah, I see it. It looks
Okay,
good.
so I'm actually going to add, all my potatoes. And then you just mix it all together.
Okay. So essentially at this point, we have a mix of the tuna, the potato, and mayo, and that's it, right?
Now, I added some Dijon mustard. I don't know if you heard that part. But again, that's a personal preference. If you want.
Never mind.
Julie, Charlotte, why do you keep on just cracking up over there? Is it because John is making commentary on the side? That's why.
No,
I'm washing dishes.
he's washing dishes. No.
Okay.
Do we actually shape this with our hands?
Yes.
Ugh. Let me go wash my hands.
It's just easier.
I'm a step ahead of you, Pookie.
What?
I'm already putting it on the plate to shape it.
All right. So why? Okay. Whatever.
Latex gloves. If you don't want to like get your hands all whatever, you can just put gloves on and like me.
Very smart.
I'm gonna lick my hands clean. That's gonna be my lunch after I make the loaf.
Thanks.
I have a question, and when Mama would make this, did she just sort of come up with this way of making it herself?
No, this was literally from Mamie. I don't know if Mamie, it was something that she invented or not, but this was a recipe from Mamie, not from Maman. And as Amanda said previously,
This is the dish, Anna and Philip, you remember, this is the dish that Mamé Cordon bewitched Moog with to induce him to marry Mamou.
Right,
And it has like magic stuff in it. So if you want to
Boy bait.
what?
It's a partner bait.
Exactly. If you're trying to match two people up.
yeah. So be
So I
careful.
should make this for Sarah?
Uh-oh.
Already got her.
Yes, you should, Philip.
I think you already caught her, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Poop, did Granny ever make this?
Who?
Granny. I don't remember it ever.
Remember Granny making this? No. And my bet is also the reason why this was made. The reason why this was made, that Mamie came up with this, is probably because of the war, and that canned tuna was the only, you didn't have fresh. Probably they didn't have as much fresh fish or stuff like that, and there were a lot of potatoes. And if you had some eggs and oil, you could make your own mayonnaise. So I'm assuming that that's one of the reasons.
So
why.
now for a little commercial break, we just started watching A French Village on Prime, which follows the village of Villeneuve in France during the beginning of the occupation. And it talks about a lot of the shortages of food and rationing, and that's what reminded me, Poogie, when you said that maybe Mamie started doing this because of the shortages of fresh
What's going on, Christopher? What shows up? I mean, where?
It's on Prime. It's called A French Village.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I got my loaf.
The key to this is that you want to make sure that it's not super wet. You know, that's sort of the key. Isabel's already moved on.
I've made my loaf
She
already.
completed hers. So
Whoa.
Cooker, is that too dry?
I with my mom. I know how to make this.
Oh, okay.
So don't forget to bake it at 350 for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Can't fool me, buddy.
It looks a bit dry, but you might want to add just a little bit more.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Because you want it to be sort of like Play-Doh.
Okay. It's stick
You
stick
gotta
together.
push it through your fingers and squeeze it. And you know.
Y'all are nasty.
All right, so then, so now I'm just gonna literally form it.
Would you like me to get the toppings?
Yeah.
Oh.
And ta-da! There you go.
Nice.
All right, so that's and that is it. But then the special part is you now frost it with mayonnaise. So I'm gonna wash my hands.
I wonder if Mugu liked it. How is Mugu doing this week? I know you guys have been
He's
talking.
doing fine. I mean, I was able to drop off a couple of bottles of wine and some.
So, hey, Pook, did you check the closet?
No, I couldn't go in.
Oh, no, but you know, last time I was there were like 6 bottles in the closet already.
Oh, okay, well, I didn't tell him to check.
Bring
the
some
closet.
more.
So here we go, Anna. I'm telling you this because nobody else is doing it. So,
I'm doing it. I frosted my loaf.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you basically frost your pain poisson with mayonnaise.
Okay.
It was around Macy's now. But you don't mind sharing stuff with your dog. So. Plus, you don't seem to mind the dogs now.
Mom, it looks like a giant Rice Krispie treat.
Nick thinks it looks like a giant Rice Krispie treat. You defend yourself from what?
Your accusations of
I
mine.
think I told some of you this story, but Adam sometimes has like nightmares and wakes up in the night. He like talks in his sleep a lot. And one night, a long time ago, I woke up and he was talking in his sleep and he was pointing to the door and he said, "Giant Rice Krispie treat man." I was like, what are you talking about? So I always think of that when I think of Rice Krispie treat.
That's
Like,
fun.
was that a nightmare or was it like a happy dream? Like, I don't know.
Dramatic.
Dramatic indeed.
All right. And then, so at this point, you can just put it back in the refrigerator until you're ready to eat it.
Okay.
But then the important part for Maman was the decorations. So,
The decoration's what made the pain poisson.
yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So what do you do?
I usually have hard-boiled eggs. We don't happen to have, we have some tomatoes, but I'll just put those around the edge. Maman swore by cornichons, so she would.
I think Dad definitely liked those too.
What?
Yeah, for
Dad
me,
definitely, he liked the cornichon, Dad.
yeah, it just makes the flavor for me. It's that contrast between I guess the potatoes and the mayonnaise and that pickled taste.
Yep.
So I happen to have some hard-boiled eggs. So.
Yeah, I boiled up some eggs too, so I'll cut mine up.
Everyone should show their pets. No, I'm serious. In my classes, everyone's been like showing their dogs and their cats.
Aww.
Maybe we'll do that during the commercial break.
Yeah.
That's right.
Show, dude.
Oh,
Yeah, Taz is right here helping me
there's a
out.
lot of contention about the fact that we have no pets.
Well, I don't have pets either, so.
During this quarantine period, Juliet has been lobbying hard for some animals.
Aw.
Ready?
Juice, this morning I saw on Instagram a video I follow this llama.
Yeah.
He's a very sweet
You
llama.
follow a llama?
His name is Caesar, the no drama llama.
Oh,
His keeper is like an older. It's like very Oregon. They like live out in the boonies. He's like an Oregon. He's wearing like like he's got like his hemp bracelets and stuff. And he's got like, a white beard. And the llama was just like looking at him with such eyes of love, and then he would like nuzzle his whole face into the guy's beard. And I was trying to like just talk to the camera and like raise money for something. For some reason, I thought of you. I was like, I should send that to you. She'd probably like it.
Oh.
All right, so. Well, I don't know.
Oh, there's Beanie.
I like to make. My mom used to fan the cornichons, so she would.
Oh, that's right.
That was a little bad.
Yeah.
So you have to slice them lengthwise, but not all the way through
Right.
to do that. Okay.
You know.
I don't have any cornichon right now, so
Well, that's all right. I mean, and you can also just use pickles. It's just,
Oh,
I have used like the pre-cut roll discs and all that kind of stuff too. So
and tomato.
yeah. So what up? I mean, it's really it's that simple, and but I'll cut that and put it around afterwards. But that's it. It's that simple. It really isn't complicated.
I'm just making suggestions where Tom and Nick like sort of a little bit spicier hot foods, and I'm putting pepperoncini, like banana peppers, on mine to decorate, as well as jalapenos. It might get them to eat it, perhaps, but
okay. Well, yeah,
sounds good.
Cool.
I'm just saying,
yeah,
I have
and I was also going to say that you can also use different kinds of mustards in it too, or you can put in dried dill if you want to, other whatever.
That's beautiful.
Really, when you think about it, all it is, it's tuna fish with potatoes. You can dress it up however you want. My mom was not a big fan of super spicy stuff, so I go with, and neither am I. Anybody else, as they always say, you can always add hot to it in whatever way, like Isabel is doing with banana peppers or the jalapenos or whatever, And who knows, you could probably also just add Tabasco,
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. So there we go.
All right.
So you guys, do you recommend like having it in the refrigerator for a while before you actually serve? Does it matter?
If your potatoes are cold and everything is cold, then you probably can. But yeah, I would, if you're gonna have it for lunch, for example, make it a little bit earlier in the day and then and have it. But it definitely needs to be refrigerated.
Okay.
Or have really cold potatoes and that your tuna fish isn't warm and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right. We ready to move on to this?
We are.
Next
The next
item.
step. Anna, are you all set? Do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm good. Mine is not very beautiful, but
Oh, it is beautiful.
Right.
Hey, look at that.
There you go.
Pretty.
So, voila.
thanks for that date. I'm really happy to know how to make that. I remember eating pain de poisson when I went with Momo and you and the girls when they were little to France, and it was around Easter time. I was like 12 or 13 or 14.
Yeah, I remember that trip and I remember you being there. I don't remember a pain poisson, but
It was like the first time I had it, I think, and or maybe it was not a pain de poisson. There was like some sort of like similar dish that they were eating around Easter time. People are like, no,
I think it was also a very common Cape Cod food, along with all her different pasta salads that she made, where she threw in basically the same ingredients only with pasta.
I know, but that's why because I remember eating a lot of like
different
tuna
variations.
salad like this.
Yeah.
but-
What? All
I
right.
remember the pasta salad thing.
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of pasta salad and tuna.
All right.
So the biggest difference is instead of pasta, use potatoes. So I'm going to wash my bowl, and we're going to make mousse au chocolat.
Okay, this one I'm gonna write down.
All right.
You know how to do this.
Oh, hold on. I have to show you guys something. I have to find it.
The whole party.
I want to wash my
Oh. Oh, it does slide.
I would do it over the table so you know it doesn't slide and you just have a
No, it
a massive,
solidifies a little
massive
bit.
fridge.
Okay,
I'll eat it.
you'll like it.
All right,
Josh and John, what are you guys making?
guys. I wanted to show you this. This is a work in progress. This was actually supposed
I
to
can't
be.
hear you.
Oh,
This was actually supposed to be one of your wedding presents, Anna.
Oh,
Naturally, I haven't gotten to it. I've only started. I have enough for each of the cousins. So I have,
oh.
I will be getting it together, but honestly, this is the only one I have at this point.
What is it?
So,
Recipe book.
Oh,
Special.
It says Sloan
so
Gale Family
awesome.
Recipes.
Sloan Gale family recipes.
hi.
But
What I really wanted to show you
long today too. Oh yeah, definitely.
is
Do it after.
I found in Maman's, how do you want to do that? I found in Maman's recipe files, she actually hand wrote and translated the recipe for the mousse au chocolat. And it's in her handwriting. So I will make copies of all these and put them in the, and so that's going to be part of the book. But I'm adding.
Are we all getting a copy of this book?
What? Yes.
Are we all getting a copy of this book?
Yes, you are. I need to wash a bowl now. So everybody, do you?
You only have one bowl?
No, but it's the best bowl to make the mousse au chocolat.
It's your favorite bowl.
It's my favorite bowl, and it's the right size.
So
Oh.
what are you talking about in terms of size, Pook? Like a sort of a low, wide bowl?
Yeah, whatever this is, I don't know.
Does it need to be glass or can it be plastic?
Whatever. Yeah, that's fine.
Just a large
Yeah.
mixing bowl.
It's a large mixing bowl. That's all. You actually have to do this. You need to do that. It needs to be like a double boiler. So what? So the other thing to do while I'm watching this.
What? You need to use a double boiler? Oh shit.
My mom used to have a double boiler, but we don't. So.
Juice, can you wash the bowl for Mama?
So I just use a good old pan, and I will put this on top of this, and that's it. Ta-da. So I still need to wash my bowls.
So, Mama, should we put a pot on the stove to boil water?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kent is the sous chef. No, Juju is the sous chef.
Yeah,
So
I'm,
we need to boil water.
Before he goes out.
oh, hey, Taz. Taz.
Puppy.
Hi, puppy.
Boy.
Hey, you want to go out? Go ahead.
Let's see.
Okay.
Oh,
So is this like a mousse recipe that is like it was made up in the family, or it's from?
no, it actually comes from, and this is why it's not a family recipe, but everybody thinks it is. It comes from the book that Gani had given to both Mimi and to Mamou. It's Je sais cuisiner. It is the Bible of French cooking. according to Dani.
Didn't we have a red one, Pook?
No, it was always this yellow one, but.
It's in the drawer, right here in the kitchen.
Oh.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's orangey, kind of.
Yeah, orange.
He's gonna go get it.
Yes. All
Right, so what are we doing with the chocolate?
right, so hold on. Here,
The
one
drawer of the
really important,
table.
one really important part of making mousse au
Drawer of the
chocolat
farm.
Does
is,
it matter how much chocolate we put in?
yes, because there are proportions, but you can be sort of
We're not eyeballing this one, Philip.
not as much. So you need, basically, for 4 eggs, you need a cup of chocolate and 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. One really important part, you want to make sure that your bowl is dry, because if you try to melt chocolate with water, yep, that's it. With any kind of water in it, it seizes. So you can't, so you want to make sure that you always do that. Make sure that if you use the same bowl, make sure that you dry it really well.
How many grams of chocolate, Mama?
It's 175 grams, I think. Yep.
Okay, how many is that in ounces?
And 30, it's a cup of chocolate.
Ooh, a cup of melted chocolate?
No, a cup of chocolate. Don't melt the chocolate yet.
And
I
can
know.
I ask how many, like if we're doing like
Chocolate is. I have
little cups, how many little cups will that make? I wonder if I should cut this recipe in half.
The recipe with the 4 eggs makes it's supposed to be 6 servings. So now, and the thing is that you can choose to make them single servings, or you just put everything in a bowl and you let everybody serve themselves. It really
What if we don't have something to weigh our chocolate with?
just use a cup. Just use.
Philip,
I'm using a leftover chocolate bunny.
Okay.
So that's,
Philip, a pint's a pound the world around. A pint
that
is
doesn't
2
help.
cups.
So
Here, so Philip.
So
Bunny into
One
smaller
cup
pieces.
is 8 ounces.
Yeah, so
Cup of chocolate is 8.
ounces is a cup.
okay,
8 ounces.
I'll figure it out.
So we're doing 8 ounces of chocolate.
That works, yes.
Nick and Sophie, this is why you need to go to math class.
This is why the metric system would be so much easier, because even the English don't use the English system anymore.
Hmm.
All right. So, do I? Everything I have is salted.
We have 4
So it's
Well, I know, but it's all in the freezer.
Okay, question. Can I mix semi-sweet chocolate with German sweet chocolate?
Sure, yeah, it doesn't matter. You can make it with whatever. It's going to be a lot sweeter if you don't. So you have to remember that whatever the chocolate tastes like, the mousse will taste like. You know, for example,
Chocolate. Yep. Okay, I getcha.
if you have like different chocolates, if you have, you know, if you have bittersweet, semi-sweet, you know, you can also use chocolate chips. If you have some chocolate chips, use those, you know. Yeah, all right, so chocolate has the really good stuff.
Whoa.
restaurant.
Pookie, do you have to put the eggs to room temperature before you make it?
Should, but I forgot, so no.
Does the size of the eggs matter? Is it like large?
In all my,
Okay.
in all my baking, I use large eggs. That's the standard, is usually large eggs. But if you have, there is an egg conversion thing that you can find online. I can't remember. I think an extra large egg is like an egg and a half type of thing. So,
A large egg is 50 grams.
all right. Well, there we go. We've got.
Thank you out.
We've already established we can't use weight.
It's meaningless to these people. Mommy, you're not making any mousse. You guys will have to live vicariously.
All right. So here we go.
That's what we're planning to do.
Back there.
I'm gonna turn on a light here.
I see Gale washing himself.
He was enjoying the tuna can.
Mm.
All right. So.
You go to the person that's talking, I assume. Is that how that works?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Alright.
when it's in speaker view mode.
She's on a phone. So you basically, you put in your cup of chocolate. You put in your 2 tablespoons of butter.
Oh, unsalted butter, right?
Yes, it's very important because salted butter in chocolate is the most disgusting thing. I actually made that mistake once. I actually made it with salted butter thinking it wouldn't make a difference. It was the most disgusting piece of mousse au chocolat I'd ever eaten. So
wait, it's 2 teaspoons or tablespoons?
Tablespoons.
2 tablespoons of butter.
Yes. All right.
So, can I just get some clarification? We're going to melt the chocolate and the butter in a bowl, which is set over the stove.
Yes, set over
Water. Yeah.
Until it melts. And it becomes a really pretty color. It's that really pretty shiny chocolate color. Yes. I use a spatula, Shelly.
Only 2 tablespoons, you said? That's it?
Yep.
That doesn't seem like very much.
Well, because you're also adding all the eggs to it. The eggs need to be split, so you'll need to separated. Yes. Thank you.
Should we do that now before we melt the chocolate?
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can do it now.
So wait, what are we doing now? I'm behind.
Okay.
So we're gonna separate the eggs, right? And are we using the whites or the yolks?
We're using both.
Okay.
Do we want to start warming up the chocolate and the butter right now?
Yes.
While we're separating the eggs?
Yes. There we go. You got it all, Shelly.
Hold on.
Shush. Isabel, whoever the hell you are.
Yep. I'm back. I got my butter and my chocolate on the double boiler.
Great. Okay.
And now what do I have to do? I have to separate the eggs?
Yep. Separate the eggs.
I am not going to be good at this.
This was long.
And it's 4 eggs?
Yes.
4 eggs. Separate.
Yeah, I just realized we only had 1. It's okay.
So you want to put the egg whites in a larger bowl because
you said that too late.
Oh, well, we have to beat the egg whites.
Son of a bitch.
Do you hand beat them, Poke, or are we using?
No, I'm using my mixer. I don't hand beat anything anymore. But you can use a hand mixer, or I use my stand mixer.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So.
Need to have a mixer swap.
Try to hand whip one today. Get some exercise in.
Don't drop the yolk.
Ha ha ha.
I think it's.
What number egg is everybody on? I've only done 1.
I'm on
I'm on number 4.
Oh, well, slow down.
Don't forget about your chocolate.
I know it's boiling. Ooh.
Right, well, make
I
sure
need
that
to-
if it's starting to melt, you can start turn it a little bit. You know, just mix it around.
With these
Isn't there some kind of tool to mix to separate eggs? Isn't there an egg separator?
But that's
Your
really
hands.
Oh crap!
Okay, John has a tip about cracking and separating eggs.
Oh, okay. Well, that I will allow him to make that comment.
I need
So-
to hear the tip.
So if you just crack all the eggs into a bowl, like you're gonna make scrambled eggs, you can just dip your fingers in and scoop the yolks out, and your fingers won't pop the yolks like the eggshells will. And it's faster because you're not like doing one at a time.
Okay.
Good to know.
Tip.
If I'm doing like
Pro tip.
if I'm doing like 5 dozen egg yolks, I'll put like a stainless steel rack over like a giant bowl and crack the eggs right onto that, and then just slide the yolks up and something else.
Ah,
That's really smart.
All right. Well,
So my chocolate is pretty much melted. Shall I take it off the heat?
yep.
That was fast.
I'm only doing a half batch.
You
I'm probably
crazy?
gonna regret that.
If anything, I'd be doing a quadruple batch.
Yeah. Well, my butter's frozen, so it's going to take a little while longer. So. Now, there's a reason. Just as an FYI, I'm putting this out there. Pregnant women should not eat this stuff because the egg whites are raw. Just so you know. I'm just saying.
Why do you mention pregnancy?
What?
Is there a reason why you mentioned pregnancy?
No, I'm just.
Here is pregnant. I'm the only one who could be, and I'm not.
Yeah, no, I wasn't
Clarifying that.
Yeah, it's just a general thing, and it's the one thing I was always concerned about when I was making a lot of these, was making sure that whoever of my friends might be pregnant, that they didn't eat it. So that's where the caution comes from. It's raw eggs. That's all.
You don't want to be hatching chickens.
What? All right.
Comedian.
Hold on.
So then we have to blend these egg whites till they're stiff, is that right?
That is correct. Beat them. Yes.
She puts them in like a Vitamix.
Okay.
She puts them in a vitamin? Oh.
So I don't do this often with egg whites, so I just want to confirm. It should just be like very stiff. Like what level of stiffness?
Pretty stiff because you're going to be folding them into the chocolate.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't want them. You certainly don't want them runny. You want a nice stiff peak when you.
Thank God Tom isn't here, because then we'd get all kinds of comments.
Yeah, well. All right, so I'm pulling out my.
Oh, you do it. You cheat.
What?
Cheater.
I'm not cheating. How is that cheating?
I don't have fancy stuff like that.
It's all right. You have a hand mixer,
My
right?
hand. Look at that.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Oh man.
Okay, I will have you know that I am using the old Lexington egg beater thing from. It's actually Mamu's old mixer.
All right.
Yep.
tried to unscrew the thing on the waffle maker.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Making food.
Are you making mousse?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We don't have any eggs, so Philip had to stop.
Chloe, send that guy out for eggs.
We have like one egg because I had eggs this morning, and then he was like, "Oh, I guess there's that," and then he put everything away. But it's all right. He's cleaning the waffle maker.
Oh, that's good then. Except for
Taking it apart. What else did you make? Something with tuna?
Part,
Yep.
Yeah, part one was
A pain de poisson.
It's like I guess in English you would say it's a fish loaf, which sounds awful, but it's French, it sounds wonderful, and it's really delicious.
It's
That sounds good.
If you like tuna fish and potatoes, that's
Yeah. Once in a while. I'm not huge on tuna, but I will eat it.
Yeah, well, in that form, it's actually sort of.
I would trust it.
All right, so Anna, the one thing you want your chocolate and your butter to be still relatively warm. So if it's already melted, you might want to just reheat it gently, because when you put the egg yolks in it, it actually cooks. It actually cooks the egg yolks just enough.
Got it. So like, just sort of like, I mean, mine is still like I can touch it, and I'm like, oh, it's warm, but it's not like hot.
You might want to, I mean, yeah, you can be a little bit warm to the touch, a little warmer than it would just be warm.
Okay.
It really is.
This would not have taken so long if I had taken out butter. All right, well, I'm gonna make some noise and beat my eggs, my egg whites. All right, I'll be back.
I do this in school. In cooking class, we had to like what? One egg and 4 people.
Oh wait, okay. I've beaten my egg whites. So what do I do with the what do I do with the egg, the yellow egg?
Cooking one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We can't hear a thing on this end, so hold on.
Faster, Shush, faster!
So Anna, I'm just gonna show you. So you see, this is what they call soft peak. See, it doesn't really make a peak at the.
Ooh,
You're at medium, please.
I'm at medium.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Charlotte.
I like them. I like them a little. I like them a little stiffer than this. So I'm gonna put it back in and beat it for probably another 30 seconds, 45 seconds.
Okay. I'm gonna check mine.
It's cool to watch the egg beater from above.
If you guys are interested, off camera while Charlotte is sweating, I'm making a bunch of kimchi.
Ooh.
So you see how stiff this is, Anna?
So I've been beating mine. This is what I have. Does that look okay?
Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's, yeah. Yep. Josh, do you need?
Let's see, Josh.
Pretty stiff.
Well done.
No. All right.
John's over.
Okay. All right. So does everybody have their egg whites?
Yes.
It's almost there.
Your chocolate's still hot because that's still pretty important. So I have mine. So is your chocolate hot?
Yes.
All right. So now I'm taking it off the water. And I'm gonna add the egg yolks one at a time.
That good?
And it's going to start coming together and look a little bit grainy. What?
This good?
Make scrambled eggs.
Yep, that looks good, Shelly.
Okay, so wait, you add them one at a time, mix it in, and it should look a little bit grainy.
Yeah, it will look a little bit grainy, and it'll come together with the last one. It looks like a paste almost.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting.
You just added the egg yolks into the chocolate?
Yep. You want to make sure that the chocolate is hot enough so it sort of cooks them.
Okay.
He's working really hard.
Whispering.
We're saying how cute you all look with your stirring going on.
Okay, so now, if you're using like a glass bowl or keep on stirring it until it's actually, you can actually, it's actually pretty cool. So, and you can let it sit for a little bit too. But you see how it sort of makes a paste?
Yes.
That's normal. It's not. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Not mousse yet.
Yeah. But you want to make sure that this is cooler because if you put your egg whites in, they'll just fall. So you want to make sure that this is, yeah.
So it's okay that it looks a little grainy?
Yes, it's supposed to be grainy. Yep, that's normal. It's okay. It becomes ungrainy once you start putting in the egg whites.
It's so simple ingredients. It's just about how you do it is what makes it.
Yeah. So I'm spreading this out so it cools faster. That's all.
Mine's just kind of like warm-ish.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, but you still, I let it, so, I'm touching this. If I hold it too long, it's still too hot. So.
I'm using a metal bowl though, so
yeah,
it's probably
so if yours is cool enough, Shelly, like if you put your finger in and it's relatively cool, then you can start folding in your egg whites.
Gradually?
Yes, a little bit at a time. Like a spoonful at a time. Spoonful, at least at the beginning.
Are you looking for room temp or like a warm room temp or?
Room temperature or warm room temperature?
What's the difference between room temperature and warm?
60 degrees, 70 degrees, 80 degrees.
Put your finger in it. Is your finger burning? No.
All right.
Which finger?
God, stop being so precise.
Oh, okay.
John has no feeling in his fingers, so he needs to know.
Oh. Well, what? You want me to use my instant thermometer?
Yes.
All right.
Give people a number.
Oh.
It's all relative.
It's coming in with the tech knowledge here.
With all the toys.
Oh, Sorry.
All the kitchen toys.
We have some birthdays
Mine
in the
is
house.
114 degrees. I don't think it's that hot.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Well, that thing's a piece of crap.
No, it's probably right.
Well, I don't know. It feels.
I mean, 114 degrees on the finger is not that hot.
Oh.
Remember, you're at 98.6.
Oh, right. Yeah, there's that. I told you this is not a scientific thing.
Is it hotter or colder than you are?
As mine is cooling, it's getting more grainy. Is that okay, Pooh?
Fine. Yep.
Put his hand on your forehead and a finger in the chocolate and see which one's hotter.
And it sort of comes together sort of like a big blob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mud pie.
Like a mud pie, that's fine.
Mine is like.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Now we start folding in the egg whites.
Mine's not blob-like.
All right. What's yours look like, Ben? Let me see. It's a little runny. Did you put all 4 eggs in? How much chocolate did you put?
I followed the directions.
Okay, then it's fine. All right, so I
Wait, I
start.
thought you said put in 1 spoonful of salt.
Well, I know. Well, I've been too.
So what do we do now? We fold in the egg.
Now we're going to fold in the egg whites into the chocolate. Not all at the same time. And you want to fold it.
Clearly some technique here.
I've never been good at folding, so I'm gonna
Okay,
watch.
so here, you just sort of go down the middle and pull it over.
Okay.
Go down the middle and sort of pull it over. It's sort of this twisty action that you do with your wrist.
Okay.
And again, it's one of those things. You sort of learn how to do it. Just take your time, and you just fold it in. All right. And you can leave a little bit like this. You see, I have everything in, but it's not completely in. And now I'm going to add more. So it doesn't need to be. So I just and then once it's not as thick, I sort of pull everything to one side and then scoop underneath it and bring it over.
What happens when your hand starts cramping up?
Drink some water.
Yes.
Oh, it gets runnier.
Yes, it will get runnier as you put in the egg whites.
So are we mixing until it's fully incorporated, or like?
You don't have to. You can. Your last addition, you want to make sure that it's fully incorporated.
Mom only did like 90% incorporation before stopping the next batch in.
There we go.
For those who want some statistics.
You do like a really great cooking show, you two, because Pookie's got her style. Can't you have yours? And they complement each other.
We were saying that Kent is the color commentary.
Yes. So there we go.
I definitely did not make enough mousse. I'll tell you. I should not. I should not have had that recipe.
Yeah. Well, now you know how to do it. I know. And you can do so. But if you wanted to, for example, this is supposed to make 6 servings. Say you want to make 8 servings. You can just add 2 eggs and a half a cup of, it's a very simple recipe. The proportions are very simple, so you can up it, quadruple it, do a recipe and a half. you know. And there we go.
How does this look?
What?
Ooh.
That looks good.
Oh.
There. Yep, that looks good.
Ah.
This.
It's kind of like pudding.
Yep. It's mine's probably a little bit thicker than yours. But now all you need to do, you put it in whatever serving bowl or cups or whatever it is that you want to do.
Well, we can leave it in what we're making if we're gonna.
Yeah, yes, you can if you want to.
Oh no. Oh, please only coming down once I'm already done with all the stuff. Sorry, I'm not even done with that.
I have that tendency. All right, this is what mine looks like.
Yeah.
Looks
Good.
Okay.
I mean, sorry. Lift it up and just sort of do the ploppy thing. See what it's like.
Oh, hold on. I'm like holding my computer.
You want it to sort of run a little bit.
We're decorating it.
Yep, that looks good.
All right.
All right, so I'm just going to transfer the whole thing into a little bowl just because this is too big a bowl. I don't want to bother with it. So, but you can also make individual servings, which I do sometimes, depending.
Which is what Mamu used to do.
Yeah.
Did we tell you we'll be over for dinner in just a few hours?
Sure.
And Anna, UPS has overnight delivery.
And there we go. And then
you hand off the spatula and the bowl to family members to lick clean.
Oh.
there we go.
That makes a lot of sense.
And then you want to refrigerate this for a couple of hours.
Question: do you suggest, like, I make pudding sometimes, and I'll put the plastic wrap right on it? Do you suggest doing that for this too, or is it okay just to?
Not as much because it doesn't really form a skin because there's no milk in it, and it's usually when you add. I think this is my interpretation. I don't know if it's true or not, but I think it's the milk that creates the skin. The fat in the milk. So, and then what I would do is before serving, if you have some whipped cream or whatever, make a little bit of whipped cream and put that on top of it. You know, again, it's individual preference. You can use, the spray can stuff too, if you want. We just don't have any, so.
When you've added all the egg whites, it's sort of a very smooth consistency, like it'll ribbon, like if you.
Yes, it will. Then that's good. Now you want to, but you do need to refrigerate this for a good couple of hours.
Unless you eat it all now.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can do that too. And ta-da! And I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator.
Yay!
Oh.
That's it.
Awesome.
Oh, good. And we now have no eggs left.
Thank you, Pook. I'm so pleased to know how to make these things.
All right. Well.
I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to stop recording now.
So I guess my question is, are there other things that you want to do and you want to do this next weekend too? And